Hey guys, welcome back to Music Talk with John. Alright, so it's been a little while, but I'm continuing through my record collection. I just realized it's been quite a while since I've been moving through. I've had a lot of different threads that I responded to and a lot of different things going on. So I'm back to it. So right now I am up to Peter Gabriel. I have 6 of his albums. I don't know, we'll see what I have here. So Peter Gabriel was originally with Genesis, if you're familiar with Genesis and that whole thing. I'm sure a lot of you guys are. But he left them in 1975 and did about 6 studio albums with them. I think they had a live one here or there. I still have to get into my older Genesis and explore that a little bit more. But so what I have here, and we're going to start here with, well, the interesting thing about the first 4 Peter Gabriel albums is he originally named all 4 of them Peter Gabriel. And he never wanted to give the album a title. He wanted people to kind of interpret it themselves. He had certain artwork or photos on the front of his albums, and he just wanted to kind of leave it up to the listener to their imagination. But at some point they were renamed, and actually each one of his albums, like in the US, like in UK it'd be Peter Gabriel, in the US it'd be Peter Gabriel 1, Peter Gabriel 2. So I'll talk about that a little bit more as we get into it. All right, so this first one it was called Peter Gabriel. Take a look at it, and what do you think they would have titled that? So this was Peter Gabriel in the UK and Peter Gabriel 1 in the US. So that was the front cover. And by the way, he did have one album before this. This is his second album. I don't have his first album, I apologize. The first album came out in '77, and that one had the hits of Salisbury Hill, and Modern Love was a single off of that. So anyway, this was his second album, so this would have been called Peter Gabriel 2 in the US. And it was later called Peter Gabriel Scratch. So that's what they renamed it as. And Scratch, to me, when I was listening to it, had like a Lennon and a Bowie vibe to it throughout. I just got little hints of Lennon and Bowie. I don't know why. Listen to it and see what you think. And the song that stuck out on this for me was Home Sweet Home. Sweet home. So I like the whole album, but I'm just going to kind of let you guys know of the songs that kind of just stuck out, or I liked, that stood out from the rest of them. And Home Sweet Home is the one for me on this one. So we're up to album 3, and I do have this, and this was the original. This is the cover. So UK Peter Gabriel, United States Peter Gabriel 3. Later, and what do you think they renamed it as? If you look at the album, it's kind of right there telling you. See how his face is kind of melting. So this came out in 1980, and it was later named Peter Gabriel Melt, or just Melt. And I think even on these they didn't even put the melt on it. It's just Peter Gabriel on the spine. And all these right here that I have, the other one I just showed you is on black vinyl too. These sound great. I don't have any issues with any of these albums. They sound really good on vinyl. So 1980 Melt, this is where he became more active, like speaking more with political themes, and to me the African influence started kicking in with the sound and the instruments and different things that you would later hear in his music. And I think this is the album for me that I recognized it starting up. And the standout songs on this for me is Games Without Frontiers and Biko.
Oh, Biko, Biko, Biko.
And if you look it up, Biko was a activist in South Africa, somewhere in Africa. I don't want to get the story wrong. You can look it up. But the song Biko on here is named after and told about a real person who existed. So you can check that out, and it's a good song. It's a standout song for me. So that is number 3, 1980s Melt. And we had number 4. Now this one you can't really tell, So here we go. UK Peter Gabriel, United States Peter Gabriel 4. Later, this came out in '82, and black vinyl, I think, on black vinyl. And yeah, just black vinyl, 180 grams, sounds good. Has the lyrics on it, which is cool. So this one I think you would have a hard time. The other two were kind of obvious of what they were named after, but this one's a little more difficult because to me it doesn't really go with the, this probably go with, somebody's running a thread now of the creepiest album covers, and this is a pretty good one. I'll have to maybe think of doing this. So this is 1982's Security, later named Peter Gabriel's Security. And there were several songs that stuck out on here for me. But the two most were Wallflower.
Your mind is working overtime. Your body's not too strong. Hold on.
And Shock the Monkey. That was a big hit. That's probably how I first came to know Peter Gabriel. And that song is interesting, and I always wondered what the heck Shock the Monkey was. So what Shock the Monkey is actually, the theme of it is jealousy. So if you listen to the lyrics, it's about jealousy, and Peter Gabriel's abstract. So if you listen to the lyrics and think about jealousy, it's there, it comes together. So that's what I really like about him. And the Shock the Monkey part, I looked that up because I'm like, what does that have to do with it? But it's like that surge, that jealousy, that feeling. But he actually got the idea for it while watching King Kong versus Godzilla, which I've never seen. So he was watching that, and the images from that movie, and I guess in the movie King Kong had lightning power. So that all together came up with Shock the Monkey with the theme of jealousy. So that's interesting. So there you go. Number 4, Security from 1982. Then the big one came out. This is the one that just everybody knows if they know Peter Gabriel. And this is So. Now this is the first time he actually named an album, not Peter Gabriel, because the record company was really pushing him. So he did. He called it So, which was basically an anti-title, you know, like a big screw you to the record company. So he said, if you want me to, here, So. So again, interpret it however you want. I'm still not going to really name the album. This had a lot of hits. This was 1986. I think this copy, I haven't done my homework completely on it. Could be an original. It came out in 86. Let's see what we have in here. It's on Geffen Records, black vinyl. Definitely not 180. It feels like an older record. Here's your Geffen. And I do need to put it in a better sleeve. And it has the lyrics on it. It's very cool. And I like this too. It has the, like the original, I don't know if it's an original or where it was resold or whatever, but it has the sticker on it and actually the hype stickers on it too. This sounds, it's in good shape. This one has a couple pops on it. It's got some age, but it probably just needs to be cleaned. But it originally went for $8.94 at Peaches. So there you go. So the big hits on this, this just had a ton of songs, but the big ones were Red Rain, which I wasn't familiar with in the 80s, and I came across it later.
Red rain is coming down. Red rain.
Sledgehammer, that played like crazy, and that was the big video there, the animation and all that stuff. Don't Give Up with Kate Bush. That song, that's a really good song. Big Time was another one, and a good horn section and all that going on. And then the huge hit off of this, and I forgot what movie it was in the 80s, is In Your Eyes. So that was on this album. So Peter Gabriel saying, all right, I'll title the album So. So that was 1986, and that was his fifth studio album. And he did some soundtracks in between. I don't have any of those. Primarily with him, I'm focusing on his studio albums. I do have one live one I'll show you. his next album didn't come out until 92, so he took some time. And I think in between there is like the Scorsese movie came out and he did the soundtrack. I keep wanting to say Passion of the Christ. Oh, Last Temptation of Christ was the name of it. So after all that, and I think there's another soundtrack in there. So he kept himself busy. But he did take his time in between albums to, seems like to focus on the lyrics and things like that and get good music. So all of his albums are really good. So this came out, it was his 6th studio album, came out in 92. And it's just called Us. So again, just Us. The version I have here is a 2 LP version on 180 gram vinyl, 33.5 RPM half-speed remaster, and I think they're just black vinyl. So let's see if they did anything fancy with them here. Yeah, see, I got to get these in better sleeves. They're in the paper. This is the other side of it with the lyrics. There you go. So that was 1992. This came out. Had the hits "Come Talk to Me." Well, the songs that stood out on this for me is "Come Talk to Me," and I think that was the single, and "Digging in the Dirt."
This time you've gone too far. This time you've gone too far.
I like that song a lot, but the whole album's just, it's cool. So, and he's continuing with his art kind of look there. So that's 1992's Us. Then Secret World Live came out in 94, so 2 years after that. I do have that. So obviously it's not a studio album, but I do own it. It's on the black vinyl. Right there, 180 gram. You can feel it. You can feel how thick it is. This again is a 33 1/3 half master, half speed remaster. And here's the original sleeves. Board, just really nice artwork, and he had Paula Cole. I'm still getting used to all the band guys. I'm really bad with that, but I'm trying to learn. But I recognize these guys either playing with him or with other artists. So there's your artwork on that. Just a nice presentation. And it's not a gatefold. They made it wide enough to fit both albums into this bad boy. This just has like a greatest hits live. So it has "Come Talk to Me" on there. "Shaking the Tree," and I don't know which album that was on. Because I'm not sure. I have to look that up, but I love that song, "Shaking the Tree." There's a video on YouTube with that.
So my girl, soon you're gone. We are shaking the tree.
"Red Rain" is on here. "Kiss That Frog," "Salisbury Hill." Yeah, "Dig in the Dirt," "Sledgehammer," "Don't Give Up." "Don't Give Up" and "In Your Eyes" ends the whole thing, so it's excellent. Snuck it in, not a studio album, but I do own this live album by him. Then you had this one, and he kind of goes back to it, but it did get named. And then this one's cool. See, I didn't notice before. You could probably already see it. I was focused on these drops, but they're not drops because it's actually called "Up." So to me, I guess they're going up and funky. But if you look really good right there, and you probably already see it, but that's his face right back there. When I first got this album, just thought it was like a grayish background, and you see it shows up really good on the camera, but like this, maybe you don't recognize it, but yeah, once you back it up, you can see his face right there. So very cool. Backside is, I guess, palm of his hand with the water going up. It's a nice gatefold and pretty simple inside. But there's your "Up." And let's see, this standout song, this was 2002 that this came out. Standout songs on this for me are "Darkness." "No Way Out" has a cool like Western style guitar riff in it that I like a lot. And then the Barry Williams Show, I like that one. It cracks me up, although it's not funny because he's talking about these talk shows like Jerry Springer and how, you got all this, just the worst of humans on there with just all the nonsense that goes on. So the Barry Williams kind of captures that. Barry Williams Show captures that whole thing. So that's that one right there. And then he has 2 more albums that came out that I don't have yet. I'm keeping an eye on. I think I'm going to probably be a Peter Gabriel completist because it's not that hard to put his together. I think there's 9 total studio albums, and like I said, I have Secret World Live, and then I think there's another live one floating out there. But in 2010, he came out with "Scratch My Back" that I mentioned. And in 2011, he came out with New Blood. And I think he's working on one now. I checked out Wikipedia, and it seems like he's working on something right now. So, and like I said, he had soundtracks too. And there was one, I forgot the name of it, that was pretty popular, that's regarded. So anyway, so that's what I have for you guys today. I appreciate you watching. And until next time, you guys enjoy your music. Take care.